Joining me now is Hereford manager Paul Caddis. Paul, well done. Almost the perfect bounce back after Tuesday night, really.
Yeah, it was. 4 goals at home, clean sheet. Still think we can play better, I genuinely do. But it's a brilliant reaction to what's been a difficult couple of days for us. I've got to say the players were excellent. They dug in. We were leggy. There's no doubt about it. We were leggy. We played a lot of the game Tuesday night with a man less, with a team that moved it pretty well. So to come back to give that reaction, I thought was excellent from the players.
You rang the changes, obviously 5 changes to the starting lineup.
Yeah, we did. A couple forced, a couple we just tried to freshen up. Thought the lads that come in done well and gave us what we hoped they would. Gave us that reaction, that energy, and it's nice to be on the end of scoring after a minute rather than conceding one a couple of weeks ago. So we asked the players just to give us a reaction in terms of get out on the pitch, get everything nice and sharp, and body language is massive. If you've got a positive body language, you start feeding off people in the crowd and they feed off you, and to get a goal that early was really pleasing.
I know it's Jason Kelly's game, but he almost epitomised that, didn't he, in the first minute? He's on his back when he played the ball to us, who then passed the ball.
Yeah, I don't want to. I'm not making excuses. We've missed Aaron Skinner, who was a player of the year last year. We're missing Sammy Robinson, Tate Campbell, who are huge players for us. But Jason Kelly we've missed until probably last week, obviously, and then he gets the illness, and he epitomises everything that we want in a forward player. He gets after people. He's aggressive. He works tirelessly. My plan before the game was 55-60 minutes, but we just managed to get that little extra 10 minutes out of him. But I'm just delighted to have him back. I'm delighted to see him on the score sheet, but most importantly, I'm just delighted that he's managed to get through that with a bit of intensity into his legs.
So he helps create one and then scores one, and then you bring on 2 subs who each score.
Yeah, our impact. I'm sure I looked a couple of weeks ago, and there was no other club that got close to us in terms of impact, players coming on the pitch. So we were really pleased with Babs puts a brilliant ball in, and Willow has a brilliant finish, and then I don't know if it was just before that or after it, Willow creates his own chance, the goalie makes a brilliant save, and we're going to need that. Listen, I don't want to make excuses. I'm really delighted for the players. It's been a tough week. We've been leggy. There's players there that are playing through injury, but that happens. There's players up and down the country that are doing the same. But yeah, just really delighted with the result. But most importantly, I'm really pleased with the clean sheet.
Kyle Howkins looked like he was one of those. Obviously, his leg was heavily strapped. He's obviously carrying a knock at the moment.
No, Kyle's all right. Kyle's one of those players who could have 6 months out and he'll still look as if he's 6 months rest, and he still looks as if he's injured. He's cost this club a fortune in tape anyway, I know that much. But no, Kyle's been brilliant. He's one of those unsung heroes like Lawson Darth, like players like that. They just go under the radar. They just go amongst just get on with their jobs. He's an excellent defender, Kyle, who puts his body in front of things, and really pleased. You obviously had the booking and just tired a little bit, and then we managed to get Des on, who gets on the score sheet.
You mentioned Lawson Darth. He was obviously on the corners and set plays. Alex Bay was on the bench today. His first one didn't beat the first defender, but after that he didn't put a foot wrong for set plays.
No, he didn't. The first one, to be fair, was something we worked on. It wasn't really his fault. Somebody was in the wrong position, but yeah, his delivery's brilliant. I remember when he was here against us with Banbury, and it was one of the reasons we brought him into the club as well. Was his set pieces have been excellent. Babs' set pieces have been excellent as well, but when Babs isn't on the pitch, then Law steps up and creates a couple of brilliant opportunities for us, which we get goals out of.
Trophy next week, so a bit of a break from the league.
It is, yeah, it is, but it's still important that we build a bit of momentum and we try and go on a run. We've been a bit inconsistent in terms of probably the last month or so, but the bigger picture is I think we're 17 games in and we've lost 4 games, so we're calm amongst the mental side of things that sometimes happens when you lose a couple of football matches. I'm still young. Listen, I'm 36 year old. I know I look about 46, but I'm still young. I'm still learning, and one of my positive attributes I would say is I'm pretty calm with outside noise and stuff like that. And we're really pleased where we are after 17 games to be in an unbelievable position that. Internally I don't think we expect to be in this position, but we know that we've got a massive fan base and a big expectancy at this club, and it's something that I'm enjoying.
You brought in Tom Donaghy on loan, the goalkeeper, of course, made his debut today. Is that just increased competition, or is Aaron Chapman carrying a knock? What's the...
Chappie, to be brutally honest, for the last 4 or 5 weeks has had a bit of stiffness in his groin, a bit of tightness, and it started off, to be honest, like the size of a pea. That's how it's been described, and it's now the size of a cocktail sausage in terms of the muscle and the stiffness and tightness. So we think that it might be a hernia. So Chappie's been to the GP and he's got further tests next week, so we'll find out about that. But Tom, got to say a special mention, I should have mentioned Tom. He's come in, we managed to get it over the line yesterday, and I've got to thank Charlie Adam at Fleetwood and Jack Higgins at Fleetwood, who've shuffled a few things round about for us. Tom was meant to be playing on Tuesday for Fleetwood first team in the Checkatrade Trophy, and he's someone I knew from my time there, and once we knew it was possible, then we were delighted to get him in. His kicking was excellent. He fortunately didn't have too much to do in terms of making saves, but he's a good character. He's a proper dedicated to his work. He's very agile, and as you can see, he's got good kicking on him as well. So we're really pleased with everyone, but obviously to come in and do that in your debut and get a clean sheet, then he should be delighted with himself.
Final point, Paul. There've been a few comings and goings this week. You mentioned when we spoke to you on Tuesday night, you put 7 days in on someone. Any news on that score?
The 7 days will expire on Tuesday, I believe, and we'll be able to speak to the player and sort it out. We've made a couple of inquiries from other players that we're hoping that we can get something. There's no two ways about it. Let me make it clear as well that there's finances there, so there is room to go and bring players in, but when you're trying to get players, I try and value them at a certain level. For example, we tried to get a player from Step 3 who's down the bottom end of Step 3 that would have came in and been a country mile of a top earner, so we won't do that in terms of they have to earn to come to this club, and we've had players like Alex Barbos, like Aaron Skinner, who were here last year, who were rewarded, and Cowley and stuff like that. So we'll keep looking. We know that and recently I think our problem's been creativity rather than actual chances missed. I would rather come in as a manager after a game and have a go at Jason Cowley or Andy Williams or Adam Rooney or Akeem Rose or whoever it is that plays at the top for missing chances, but lately I don't think we'll be creating enough. So we're looking for a bit of creativity up the top end. We think we've identified two. We've got one that we're hoping that we can agree something on Tuesday, and then the other one will be a couple of days later before we can speak to them.
Thanks for your time, Paul. Well done.
No problem, thank you.
Ty Deacon wasn't in the squad today. Is he gone back to
Ty's gone back, so from this, I'll be honest, the last 72 hours I've genuinely hated it. So from Monday, that's longer than 72 hours to be fair, from Monday we lost Che Till, went back to his old club. We lost Ty Deacon, well, Ty went back Tuesday after the game. Aaron Skinner's out, Preston Bittlemo's out, Sammy Robinson's out, Tate Campbell we knew would be missing, Chappie's out. So we in the last, as I said, 2 or 3 days we lost 7 players. So well, some of them have already been out, I absolutely get that, but we are short. We are in the market to try and strengthen the squad, because I think when everyone's fit we've got a really competitive squad. What we don't have is a big enough squad to, I don't think anyone, unless you're full time or you've got a massive backer, that if you lose 7 players that you should be able to go bang 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 and bring players in like that. We can't do that, but we're in a position now where we can try and get a couple more in.
And I'm guessing that plays into the squad you can put out on trophy. You might want to play a slightly weakened squad, but you'd probably not have that option. Yeah,
but I'm fully respectful of Brentwood. Last year I think it was Redbridge came and I think they can. Was it Redbridge that scored really early and we ended up winning the game 2-1 or 4-1 or something like that? But no, I'm really respectful. I think it's the one thing that I would love to be able to do is pick a consistent team. There's been, I looked the other day, and I'm my own biggest critic, believe me. I'll go back and assess everything that I've done, like what can I have done better, what can we have done better as a management before we even get anywhere near the players. And one thing we're hoping improves in the next couple of months is we can pick a consistent team, or a consistent 14-15 players that deserve to be playing. But at the moment, through injuries, through suspensions, through lack of form, through players impacting the game off the bench, it's changed a little bit more than what we'd wanted to. But what I do try and do is try and keep a consistent back five. Alright, cheers.